So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, fabulous viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you guys found me. For those of you guys returning, I'm so blessed to be here. So grateful. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. Today's reading, we'll be taking a look at the next major shift in your energy. This could be going on within you, could be going on around you in your world somehow, okay? But it will be the next major or significant change taking place. And we'll be using these decks, okay? And I will put timestamps. So we'll pull the cards together. And this will be a pick-a pile, okay? I'm not quite sure which deck we'll use for your pick-a pile, but these are the decks right here. I'll put a link to the playlist for the deck flip-throughs for those of you guys interested in these decks. For the Enneagram Oracles, we'll be using the Mystical Oracle and also the General Oracle. And yeah, these are the decks. So I'll put a timestamp below and we'll pick the picks together. I will see you guys there. All right, gorgeous angels. We'll use the Urban Crow for the pick a pile or pick a card. So use your intuition. Whichever card is pulling you in will most likely have the messaging for you in regards to the next major energy shift. Okay, but a lot of times my piles are interconnected, meaning you could be looking at it from different perspectives. Okay, could be looking at energy around you of someone else going on. So keep an open mind, although do not force any of these messages to fit. Okay, and we're asking Spirit for the next major significant change for the viewer. 3 options to choose from for today's pick a card. I won't be reading those reverse. Thank you, Spirit. 3 options for the collective. All right. So, gorgeous angels, these are your 3 options. I will reveal these shortly. If you feel called to any of them at any point, then I will put a timestamp down below. Okay, and if you feel stuck, just close your eyes, open your eyes. Whichever one you're pulled to will most likely be your pile with the messaging for you today. So option number 1, you guys have Knight with 33. Option number 2, you guys have Trickery. I just found it really hard to breathe all of a sudden. Number 50. Option number 3, you guys have Nature with 32. All right, so sit with this energy. Don't pay too much mind to the words. Okay, it's going to be the energy in that pile that is pulling on the energy or that's shifting in your world. So when you're ready, select from the timestamp below and I will see you guys at your pick. Gorgeous angel pile number 1. You guys pick card 33 with Knight. And we will be pulling the cards together. If you guys want to skip ahead for your channeled message, you can do so. All right, there isn't very many decks to shuffle through, although I do use this time to tap into my intuition. And if you are working on developing your intuition, this is the best way to do so. Okay, we'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful pile number 1. And what is this energy shift? I do feel another energy shift. Significant shift in energy that's happening next for pile 1, Spirit. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Pile 1, thank you so much for being here, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I got Express showing up in anger. Three more. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1. What's the next major shift in energy taking place for pile 1? A cosmic exploration. Card number 28. Oops, that one went flying. To be fair, number 38. 38, 28. Okay, and then one of these. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Next significant shift in energy. What is going to shift for pile 1? I feel one more. Two more. Okay. Gorgeous angels, let's take a look. So we have anger with 19 and 1. Losing control, annoying, pleasure, mistaking, impulsiveness, personal desires. Type 1, the perfectionist instinctive center between control and letting go. So we have some Leo, some Virgo, and some Gemini energy here. Okay, something about the shadow coming through here. Okay, could be your shadow, someone else's shadow. Okay, so 85 and 4, mystical experience, growth level, channeling, spirit beings perception. Spirit beings perception. I don't know what context that is in context of channeling. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Clairvoyance, past lives, dilated time, clairaudience, divine guidance. Type 4, the individualist emotional center between lack and abundance. Number 4. So I have some Aries and some Scorpio energy. So with this shadow, I'm getting some Pluto, which is Scorpio. Channeling. Okay, and all this purple is giving me High Priestess sort of energy. So I'm getting a lot of Pisces. A lot of spiritual energy. Okay, and then we have Revelations 86, mystical experience, growth level. It says expansion of consciousness, duality, transcendence, prophecy, mental clarity, universal knowledge, increased understanding. Type 5, the observer thinking center between interior and exterior. So we have the authentic expression pulling through, some Taurus and some Sagittarius energy as well. And then we have being of service. Wow. Responding to real needs, true altruism, self-care, love offering, humble charity, unconditional support. Type 2, the helper emotional center between giving and receiving. Return to the world, 101 and 2. High Priestess energy pulling through again. Lots of spiritual energy pulling through this pile. Very strong here. Okay, I have root chakra energy. And we have this duality sort of energy here with the shadow and some light. Transmutation, I'm feeling a lot of this magician energy coming through very strong. Okay, now we have to be fair, yes, so 38, or number 11, which is also a highly spiritual number. Okay, 11 is divine inspiration, synchronicity, and the encouragement to keep going. We have the owl sitting on our head, so owls talk about wisdom. Okay, there's something here about increased understanding, universal knowledge. I'm getting Libra energy from the scales here. We have the fortune cookie. So that's a Jupiter energy. Jupiter's a ruling planet for Sagittarius and Pisces. Okay, and then we have cosmic exploration with 28, or the number 10. So we have 2 10s here. 10s are all about completions and ends of cycle, although I am feeling a lot of Wheel of Fortune from these 10s. Okay, which is like something maybe destined or fated. Yeah. Also, sun energy is 10 because 9 plus 1 is 10. And sun is talking about higher states of consciousness. Yes. And enlightenment. And here we have expansion of consciousness plus the wisdom sitting on top of her head from the shadow here. Okay. 33 is a master number. I don't know if I read that. So that's Christ consciousness, joy, harmony. So I'm feeling some light from this, even though it's night. So it's almost like transmutation of the shadow into light. Okay, even with this moon, could be talking about the subconscious. Yeah. Okay, and then we have guide. Wow. Okay, and then we have express, which is this blue authentic expression. And we have quarrel, 4. And this is Mars in Cancer. So we have some Aries pulling through. This number 4 as well. So 2 4s. 4s are about structure, foundations, planning, stability. Okay, but 4 is also the death card in the tarot, which is this shadowy energy that I'm feeling here. Quarrel. Okay, well, Mars is all about taking assertion. So this divine masculine energy is like an outward of energy here. All right, and then we have romance. So we have Venus in Taurus with the number 2. And then we have choice. So again, with the scales here, more Libra energy, the 2s keep coming through. 2 is balance, duality, choices. 2 is about partnership, contrast, and polarity. Okay, so Libra energy, and again, it's very strong with this Mars, Aries, Scorpio energy. It's almost like that Scorpio is pulling through as Aries, meaning like the shadow is now coming out. But I feel it's coming out in order to be transmuted in some way or expressed. Yeah, and then we have the balance here. Okay, but we have romance and quarrel. Interesting. And then we have compartmentation with fragmentation, isolation, division. That's the 2. Cleavage, lowering, and separation. The 2 again. So we have 5, which is all about rebuilding, challenge, conflict, loss. Okay, so Hierophant and Temperance energy. Temperance is that balance and healing. Hierophant is man-made sort of beliefs, dogmas. Okay, this message is actually very clear, but I won't pull the tarot just yet. Let me sit here with this energy and then channel what this is about, okay? Beautiful pile number 1. What a beautiful message here. It is absolutely beautiful. Okay, we're looking at the next sort of major shift going on in your world here. We'll pull some tarot so that we can maybe dive in deeper if we could see some more about this whole thing. Okay, I did read signs throughout the card layout, so if you're interested in the zodiac signs, you can go back and listen. But what I'm feeling here is mostly spiritual work, like shadow work, transmutation into light. But I do feel like it's more than just this sort of concept of doing shadow work. I feel like there is digging in deep for sure from places that I feel have been fragmented or challenging for you, maybe in past relationships or just creating suffering in your world, obstacles, maybe sabotage, maybe just how you engage in the world. This thing is really being worked through. Okay. And I don't know how you're feeling about it. If you're feeling like, is anything happening? Am I actually healing any of this? Well, what's going on there? There seems to be turning a lot of the shadow into light and finding balance within self, which is beautiful. But beyond that, I feel like there is an ability for some of you guys, this could be really shifting in regards to how you take your next step, meaning there's freedom here for you to move in a certain direction, like truly authentically in the direction that you're being called to do. Okay, and for some of you guys, this could definitely be like, it's hard to explain here because I don't know if you guys are going to be getting involved with, let's say, rolling out something specific in regards to the collective, in regards to helping the collective transmute a lot of their shadows, pain. So this could be in work of therapy, healing, counseling, spiritual work, through way of, again, like sharing your story, expression, meaning guiding some of these people through how you were able to work through your own suffering. Okay, kind of like what I'm doing here in some way. Okay, but it's all very unique to a lot of you guys. But if it's not outrightly like in a direct way, it's like this energy of all of this transmutation and removing obstacles and barriers is allowing you to move to your next phase. And the next phase is actually your calling. Like you're destined to go and create something that's very specific to you. Okay. And the only way for you to roll this out would be for you to be in the balanced energy, the right mindset, and to overcome a lot of this stuff that might have not have allowed you to have the certain types of insights and understanding. So I feel is very tied, you know, without healing this, there would be no clarity in the next phase. And so this is really tapped into spiritual wisdom. This is really tapped into broadening the consciousness in regards to maintaining different perspectives and allowing yourself to sort of move beyond any sort of limitations that were holding you back in the past. I do feel, because we are seeing romance here and quarrel, it could be very specific to some of you guys, this message, but it could definitely be working as like a counselor, you know, or therapy for relationships. This could certainly be also your ability to overcome what might have been getting in the way of you and being able to connect on a romantic level with people, get really intimate, being able to overcome a lot of the challenges that might have seemed impossible at one time. Because I do feel like you were having to overcome a lot of internal shadows. Like I say, this is coming through as anger, okay? But losing control, like an inability to maintain one's emotions, remain balanced, to be able to have self-mastery over emotions and control here. Okay, but I feel like with the guide here and this divine guidance, like we've been working with spirit for some time to transmute a lot of this stuff. And I feel like spirit is really talking with like this to be fair and all this balance stuff. It's like all of this work is now manifesting as something in your world as a result of doing this work. So healthy relationships, guided purpose, maybe a career in something that allows you to be more in line with what your calling is. I feel like there's multiple parts of your world that's expanding as a result of doing this introspective work. I also feel like there is there seems to be a lot of people involved, however this is, because I do feel like you're going to be impacting a lot of people in the same manner maybe as you were impacted by your journey. Although I do feel like your journey might have been something very much like you pioneering this sort of path, working with spirit, being guided by the divine. Whereas I feel like these people that are like, I don't know, it feels like they could already be people sort of in your world, or maybe just people who are suffering from the same sort of things maybe that you've gone through in some way. But I feel like there is you being of service here in order to offer some form of service is really what I feel, to free people up and to bridge the gap between maybe those who are stuck in some sort of like sleep mode, you know, or like in separation. I also feel like if you guys have been in isolation to do a lot of this work, this is coming to an end. And I feel like also maybe in the past where you might have felt locked in to one area, maybe like one area meaning I can only do this, or this is where I'm sort of feeling stuck to. I think you're going to see a whole lot of opportunity, but you get to choose, which I feel gives you the freedom, because I feel like maybe in the past there wasn't as many choices, or you felt like it was very limited. And now I feel like you're going to be given a lot of choices. And I think you might even go in multiple directions, although it feels very pointed, but all sort of supporting each other. Because I do feel like there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of different areas here. Like, I feel like relationships for you do seem to get a lot better and more in line with maybe less challenge, struggle, sabotage, resistance, and whatever was getting in the way between you and relationship. But also, I feel like there is also this purpose that is being explored, either through your career or through some sort of exploration here. But I don't feel it's a self-exploration as much as it is an outer world exploration now, because I feel like there was a lot of inner world exploration. This is all outer. I'm feeling a lot of like outer exploration. And so maybe we were doing a lot of shadow work, removed, hermit, introspective, trying to get a lot of knowledge, trying to manage your feelings, trying to understand yourself. Like, who am I? What's the challenge? And really work through our spiritual growth. And now I feel like it's putting it into action. And it's like being able to work with others in a way that maybe you couldn't in the past, or it's opening up this new way to be related to or relate with people. I feel like you might have experienced a lot of loss, maybe even depression at one point, because I do feel like there was this dark night of the soul that's really coming through that maybe triggered a lot of these subconscious sufferings and revelations in order to transcend past some of this so that you could free yourself. Yeah, it's like your truest authentic self here that's more balanced and more understanding of self is able to navigate in the world, which is bringing more peace, more harmony, more blessing. Okay, so let's see, Spirit, for pile 1, can we dive into this energy of the next major shift for pile 1's energy? Anything I'm missing here for pile 1? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. The Six of Cups in reverse. So the Six of Cups is soul recognition. And we have past lives over here. Okay, but it's like nostalgia and people of the past. But it is in reverse. And so we'll see, because that's in my passing position. But I'm feeling, like I said, there was a lot of people here I'm feeling with these birds, But it feels quite heavy. The same with the Six of Cups in reverse. It feels quite heavy. Like, I don't know if we've outgrown the past, past people, past relationships, past situations that felt like they were heavy or kept us stuck. And there was a need to mourn, I feel. And maybe it took some time, Let's see, Spirit, what is it for pile 1 that's shifting here? Goodness, this card keeps coming out every time I use this deck. This is special in this deck, okay? So this is like kind of like the yin, the yang. We have like she's like hugging this wolf and they're working together, like one, rather than fighting against with resistance here in the, if it comes this way, it's like fighting reality, resistance. And here's like going with the flow, being able to move with the universe. So I was kind of getting it from this energy, like wherever there was resistance or challenge, it feels like it flows, and we made one with the shadow or one with the darkness. But it's the darkness of the past, because I feel like maybe we were hanging on to something that was really challenging to let go of. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, working with people. It's like something we couldn't build on our own, but we could build with other through collaboration and efforts. So this could talk about a new job. This could talk about just creating like a community of people, or like working together to build something. As something solid here too. Why is this Six of Cups here in reverse? Seven of Wands. So yeah, we might have had to really fight through like our past. Really felt like past situations were holding us back. Our emotional attachment to the past. Let's see, why is this card here? I don't know what this card is called. Five of Cups in reverse. Yeah, that's that same sort of energy here. It's like mourning the past is all I keep seeing here, you know? Being disappointed with experiences of the past. Two Cups. Exactly. That's what's healing. It's like your ability to work in relationship with other, you know? But I feel it's all around. It's like in intimate, romantic relationships, but also just to be able to flow in a way here that's more harmonious without all this resistance or all of this like baggage of the past. Yeah. Strength. Beautiful. Leo energy. And then the Queen of Cups under that. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So beautiful angel. Your reading is quite clear. I feel like there's been a long period of time, if you know that this pile is for you, a long period of time where I feel like we could have been really consumed by our own experiences of the past, okay? Failed relationships, disappointments, personal things within ourselves that maybe we were judging or were not releasing, that were stuck, fragmented. And what it would manifest as is challenging sabotage, confrontation, an inability maybe to even find a romantic relationship even, okay, or even be happy maybe with what we do for a living, or like able to flow. I feel like there is a flow that's coming, okay, as a result of transmuting this energy, meaning we're not tucking it away or ignoring it. I feel like there's a true confrontation of this, fighting through some beliefs maybe that are untrue in order for us to see it for what it is. And so I feel there's a fighter energy within you that's been able to overcome a lot of the stuff that's kept you hostage. And maybe in the past there was maybe like a victim mentality, you know, or really seeing it like it's out there and it's me, and I'm kind of having to fight my own inner world. I feel like there might have been a lot of people in your world as well that you might have outgrown situations. And it's like, how do I move beyond it? How do I reconcile this sort of environment so that I can move beyond it? I feel like you are moving beyond this through way of accepting what you cannot change, releasing what you don't need to carry, and coming out of any instability when it comes to your emotional poles, or anywhere where you might have felt sort of controlled by outward circumstances. There's this true harmony that's felt within, and then it's experienced on the outside. And I feel like the biggest shift here is what you're going to create, because aside from maybe even finding maybe a romantic partner here, someone who understands you and trusts you and supports you, it feels very balanced, very harmonious. It feels very trusting and safe. And I feel like maybe in the past we haven't felt safe and our experiences were not very good. But I also feel like there's something manifesting that's like, as a result of feeling safe and supported, there's like, I can create something in this world that's going to contribute to a build of something better that can stand the test of time. Okay. And I feel like this is all due to your ability to sort of persevere through the challenge in the name of love and being able to confront difficult emotions that might have seemed scary, or might have just seemed like I'd rather not, or connecting to a part of the emotion that again was fragmented. So it's like, this is really, in the name of love, like being of service would require me to come from a different angle or be able to connect differently to people or myself in a way here, And so we might have had to really work through a lot of our ego, a lot of our shadow, a lot of our projections, a lot of this separation consciousness, which is like, again, like a world that's out there that's separate from me. And, then I act differently. It's me against the world, or I like resist or fight against my environment. Or it's like, no, I'm no longer in a fighting mode because there's nothing to fight. There's just releasing what's challenging and accepting what could flow from a place of love. Yeah, just way less conflict is how I feel here. And 5 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so if there was conflict, if there was challenge, we see quarrel here. It's like no longer experiencing the same disappointments, pain, and sabotage. And I don't know that we might have known how much involvement we had in the sabotage, because we might have thought out there is sabotaging, or people are sabotaging, or people I date are sabotaging, or like the circumstance, the environment. But there's this true ability to sort of be responsible, I guess, with our own involvement here, which I think is a lot different than not taking any sort of accountability or even realizing that we have an involvement here with how we want to engage. Like, do we want to fight against, or do we want to work with is beneficial to us? Yeah, I do feel like there's some more message here for you. Let's see. So I have some Leo energy pulling through, and Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So Spirit, can we wrap up this message for pile 1? What major shift can they expect? Any more information they can expect here in regards to this shift of energy? Thank you so much. Any questions they might have? Ace of Swords in reverse. Right on top of this throat chakra, because the throat chakra, like I said, this is your true authentic expression. This would mean something was suppressed, not being able to speak our truth or take action on our truth. And maybe for quite some time, we might have felt stuck in the past with the 6 cups in reverse in an environment that we've outgrown, or that it's outgrown us, or just felt challenged. Look at the card again, you guys. Like I said, every time I use this deck, it comes out and look, it's falling the same way again. The Hermit in reverse. Yeah, you're coming out, like I said, coming out of isolation, coming out of that period where maybe you had to really reflect. The Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, like the truth that I once believed in. Because I think you might have been, paying homage to something else or having another belief here. It's like I don't no longer buy into that dogma or that belief. It didn't feel cohesive, or it got in the way of a relationship or something like this. This is falling over here. Page of Wands in reverse. Yeah, no longer want to entertain or explore what's not for me. Okay, why is this card here? I don't even know the name of this card. Maybe it wants me to read it to you guys. Hang on, let me get the box for this one here. All right, let's see. It is the very last card in the major arcana, and it's this might hurt, this might heal. So this is in the healing position. Exactly. This is all about the transmutation of energy, which is healed. It says a girl and a wolf cycle between tender affection and a difficult struggle. In the upright position, a girl tenderly holds the wolf. In a downward position, the girl and the wolf are locked in desperate battle. The figures are cyclical, with the 4 symbols of the minor arcana in the corners, suggesting that the struggle and peace are temporary positions in a never-ending cycle. The wolf represents the external world. Risk is inherent in a well-lived life. There will be vibrant joy, crushing pain, and multitudes in between. All experiences that are meaningful, that are truly joy, can also bring you the most pain. In the downward position, with the girl and the wolf fighting at the top, it suggests a time of great difficulty. The external world has bitten you. Times are hard, and you're reacting to that hardship in order to return to equilibrium, which is all this balance we were seeing. Okay, I think you're making this choice to move out of whatever doesn't feel good here, okay? In order to return to equilibrium, acceptance is key. If you fight what has happened to you, blame yourself, or refuse to recognize what is going on, you will add to your own suffering. Accept what has happened, and you can become a stronger person on the other side, which is that strength card we were seeing. Okay, able to form meaningful bonds with those who have had similar experiences. What did I say? Exactly. I think you're like going to be like rolling out some sort of program, or just like it's more meaningful than just you experiencing this healing. Okay. In the upright position with the girl and the wolf at the piece on top, it suggests a time of healing. Humans are social animals that evolved to thrive in community. Seeing community here with all those crows, like I said. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. Connection is the key to our survival and our highest goal. And it is connection with others and the world around you that will facilitate growth. Take care of your people, love your world, and you will also be taken care of, loving yourself. Oh my gosh, I feel like crying. You guys, it's so above you, you know? Hierophant is more like self-focused, you know? It's like what I'm told to do and be, and maybe I believed at one point in time the way that I had to structure myself to be good or to be whatever. And there was like a community of people. It could have been our family or friends. And it's like even a job we were sort of called to do or be involved with. You outgrew it. It's not authentic to you. I feel like it might have been dampening your spirits in some way here, you know, and I feel like you did experience a lot of pain. And I do feel like with this period, oh my gosh, I'm totally going to get demonetized with that. That's okay. So yeah, with this true transmutation and a true choice, I feel, okay, because it's like I'm no longer bypassing, or I'm no longer tucking away my pain or projecting. I'm like fully able to take what I need to take, transmute what I can, and what I cannot accept, or what I cannot transmute, I accept it. And this makes my life so much easier. And then there's like this engagement in the collective to make the world a better place. Okay, so you're not going to be like a little hermit here that's like pulled away, misunderstood by everyone, or feeling isolated or alone. This is coming to an end, okay? Completely coming to an end. Queen of Cups again. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Beautiful. And this is being of service, out of a place of love, being able to work with your own emotions in a harmonious way. I feel like there was a challenge going on within you. Battling self, you know? It's like I should feel this way, or I should do that, or this is what's expected of me, or this is how it's always been. And like having to break through those beliefs that we carried that were actually misaligned and not allowing us to move towards our calling. 7 of Cups. Yeah. And like I said, you guys would have many options, because I was seeing many options, but I feel like these many options aren't from a place of like when we see 7 Cups, it's like confusion, you know, like having too many and it could go wrong, and like I could pick this or that. And it's like, it's not every sort of option is going to be successful. I feel like you have many options, but I feel there's a clarity. It's like now all the options are sort of clear. Like, you know exactly what you want to get involved with. You know exactly what's for you. You know exactly where to sort of invest, because I feel like you've been having to really sit and ask yourself the tough questions, like what's right for me? What should I do? And where am I being called to invest, and be okay with that, you know? Because I don't feel like we're seeing like far, 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 far into the future so much as it is in front of us, but there's a clarity, there's a certainty, there's a cohesion rather than feeling like completely uncertain, resisting what we don't like, feeling imbalanced emotionally, and then aligning with things that weren't for us, and maybe convincing ourselves we had to stay there or that's why we were there, you know, and believing that. But it's more out of this like integrated belief that we didn't generate from the inside, but it was handed to us, or it was created because of the fact that we were hurt at one point in time, you know. And so this belief is whatever we said, like I have to maintain this sort of a lifestyle, whatever the lifestyle is, because it helps me to not have to deal or not have to get hurt again or not have to cope, or shuts me out of the world or keeps some sort of harmony aspect alive. But it was at the expense of feeling deeply or being a full potential here. And that's all coming to an end. Oh, the star. Yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness. So I just said we don't see far into the future, and we don't, but at least we know that we're aligned with our wish, and we know that the healing has taken place where it needed to in order to align us with a better future. Death. And this death is in reverse. I feel like the biggest challenge was releasing the past, was healing what we couldn't release and let go of because we were so ingrained in this Hierophant belief, thinking maybe this was a part of who we are. You know, like this is my identity, this is who I am, and how I do this must be done this way. It's like an untrue belief of Hierophant, not necessarily the true expression of self. And so we didn't want to release certain things, even though it brought great pain and suffering. So if Sagittarius and Aquarius energy. So your big shift, pile one, healing through hard work that is actually paying off and going to manifest as harmony for you and for everyone sort of around you in a way that's like flowing, you know, and it feels very balanced. It feels like this opens up a lot of doors for you. And this also seems almost like you are your biggest sort of advocate here, because I feel like you understand yourself. You're solid in self. You're able to and not feel like the past or experiences of the past or even people of the past have any control over your future and where you're going. It's like you've made peace with the past. Yeah, and you really like the present moment. Like you really like the feeling you're getting, because I feel like there's this connecting to love, connecting to self, being accepted, being on both sides with the two cups we were seeing, you know. It feels very balanced. It feels very safe and trusting and centered. And it feels really nice. It really does. So, beautiful angel, pile number one, this is your reading. Beautiful reading. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angel, pile number two. You guys picked the trickery card here. Interesting that you would pick this, although I did say don't worry about the words at the bottom, but trickery doesn't always sound good, right? Like, what is this trickery? Are we being fooled? But I do see the leaves here, and as I record this, we are approaching autumn, okay? Although this reading is timeless, so it doesn't have to be, but there could be something about timing here, although autumn is where the leaves start to fall and things start to shift, and so there's like a release, you know, as we go into a winter mode. So it could be significant here, but what we'll do is we'll pull these cards, okay? And you guys can skip ahead if you want, although I do suggest you tap into your intuition throughout this card layout process. For those of you guys developing your intuition, we'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile two in regards to the next major or significant shift in energy happening in pile two's world. Clear and concise message for beautiful pile number two. What is the next major shift energetically happening for pile two? Next significant major shift going on in pile two's world. Thank you so much, Spirit. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number two. Thank you so much, pile two, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing a reading. And we have 3 more decks. Clear and concise message for pile 2. What is this next major shift? I gotta cover this up. We have stubbornness and pleasure. I'll put these because they didn't reveal themselves and there's too many, but I will pull another because I do feel there might be 2 more here wanting to come through. Clear and concise message for pile number 2, Spirit. Anything further in this deck? Okay, I feel one more. Oh my goodness. Lots from this deck. Okay, I've got 2 more here. One went flying at me. Clear and concise message for pile number 2. Next significant shift of energy going on in their world. And one of these. My goodness. True identity, public image, and self-awareness all go hand in hand in hand. And look at this yellow as well. Yellow is all of the solar plexus energy, which is the ego chakra. I'm going to change the name of my channel to the ego channel. Okay. Let's take a look at your cards, beautiful angel. All right, so we have the trickery we already talked about. We'll put that there. We have Treasure Island, number 9. Well, 9's about fruition, completion, fulfillment. It is hermit energy, and it's also moon energy. Okay, but I'm not feeling a lot of hermit here. And I'm feeling some moon with all of this water, but it feels more light than dark. It feels like emotions here. So we see the treasure chest. My phone just buzzed. Is chop wood. So day in, day out, I'm seeing an 8 pentacle here, 42, or the number 6. Okay. And we have amorality, bad inclination. Oopsie. Oopsie. I'm so bad with this video. I'm totally getting demonetized. Okay, amorality. It says bad inclination, crushing other, pretending, lack of values, money, extortion, and immediate profit. Wowzers. 66 is a master number. Okay, service is a source of joy, which one pours from an overflowing cup, not martyrdom. And we have a lot of yellow. Like I said, solar plexus. So solar plexus is our will. Okay, it's our confidence. It's where a lot of the ego is stored. Okay, like the ego as in pride ego. So we have stubbornness. It says determination, perseverance, obsession, willfulness, dodginess, relentlessness. And then we have self-awareness, asserting versus staying calm, taking initiatives, express needs, determination, making choices, emotional expression. Then we have true identity, personal achievement, being versus appearing, authenticity, self-awareness, which we have right here, personal values, and emotional deepness, emotional expression. Public image, need to be admired, fear of failing, shallowness, self-sacrifice, which is this martyrdom energy. Okay. External validation and compulsion to success. Pleasure, organization, relaxation, joy, serenity, celebration, and high level of ethics. So 719933. So 99 is a master number. Being the change you wish to see and helping humanity release what no longer works. 33 is a master number. Reproduction, creativity, humor, Christ consciousness, and joy, and harmony. Okay, so we have some Taurus, some Libra, and some Virgo, and some Cancer, some Gemini, and some, another 3 here. You guys might be saying 333. Some Taurus and some, I said Taurus already, Sagittarius. Okay, so we have restlessness, Mercury in Aries with number 1. Oh, didn't we have, look, restlessness showing up twice here. That's interesting. We have birth, number 4. 4 is Aries, Scorpio energy. So Venus in Cancer with birth, fascinating. And then we have exaltation, which is like being revered, being celebrated here. This could be public image type thing here, number 2. Okay, and then we have patience, this person fishing. I feel like I'm gonna skedaddle that over here. Okay, and then we have Earth. Wow, this came out for the collective I did not too long ago. And then we have assertiveness, 1 and 4. Thorough action, positioning, decision, discipline, self-expression, and thoughtful action. Type 4, the individualist, emotional center between lack and abundance. Okay, nice trickery here. This one's interesting. And struggle. And scholar, deep knowledge, visionary, realism, erudition, specialist, and concentration. Type 5, the enthusiast, thinking center between pleasure and pain. Okay. And we have inside looking out with 38, which is number 11. Okay, and then we have volcano. Oh my goodness, 49, which is 13, Scorpio energy. Okay, let me sit here. There's lots going on, and I have no freaking idea what the frick. Okay, let me just sit here with this energy. Let's get it all sort of sorted here. Okay. Okay. Pile number 2. This is an interesting energy that I'm getting from here. Okay, it's not going to be everyone's message, so just take what resonates here, okay? I feel like you might feel, if you resonate with this pile, sort of like an imposter on the inside, you know? It's like it never really fully clicks, and it's like, am I doing this action feeling kind of empty in a way, or like trying to like generate something, but it doesn't generate anything really? I don't know. It's like, it's almost like we were lined up with, again, this is saying public image, okay, but I'm getting a lot from different sort of messages from the cards here, because I feel like there is going to be a refining of our own energy in a way that's a lot different than maybe what you've experienced in the past, because I feel like there's a mode that you are familiar with, your mode. And I feel like this mode almost feels like a phony, you know, like imposter syndrome in a way. And it's always resulted in like feeling like we couldn't quite achieve, or we couldn't quite get there, or someone else was winning or the successor or the victor. And it always felt like we're watching people like do their dreams or live authentically. And it's like, well, I know I could be authentic or live authentic or like have the rewards of something like this. But there was a lot here, I feel, I don't know, like there does feel a lot of squandering of energy for one, because I do feel like we could have been blaming our circumstances or situation, okay, for one, but not knowing how much involvement really we could have been feeding that habitual pattern of staying where we were at, or not breaking out of that sort of energy for some time. But I feel like in the grand scheme of things, that energy felt heavy, felt burdensome, and felt very much like just really misaligned. And so there is a hesitation I feel from you in sorting through, because I don't feel like you had an idea of what you wanted and you're just like, yeah, I'll just stay here. Thank you. I feel like in order to sort through what you want, and when I mean want for yourself, your purpose, your guiding star, and where you spend your time day in, day out. I feel like there was a needing to sort of put your butt in the seat to sort through. And it's like, oh, it'd be too confusing or too heavy or too conflicting or too much effort or too much time or too much, you know, it impact too many things. I pull one thread and like all of it sort of is tangled up. And I feel like this trickery isn't coming from anywhere else except for from you. And it's like I'm getting magician energy, but I'm also getting the trickster, because I get the light attribute of the magician, which is what you're about to manifest here, is knowing that the power is in your hands to create whatever is out in the ethers, in the cosmos. In order to bring it to the 3D, you have all the tools. And I feel like the liberation here is connecting to that understanding and to the availability of that connection and what you need to do. And then getting sort of, okay, now I have a roadmap, you know, because I feel like in the past it was all upside down and there was too many outlets and there's too many things. And so the trickery was telling myself that maybe somehow the map would just show up, or one day I'll get in the mood or in the mode, or maybe even telling ourselves like we can't just because this isn't aligned just yet, or this resource isn't there, or no, that's that person I needed to do that just isn't around to do this, or the software I need hasn't had an update yet, or I don't know. There seems to be a lot of this sort of procrastination through way of convincing self that was a reason to maintain some form of struggle, although the struggle just seems like it was like a complacency or a heaviness of the same thing that wasn't leading anywhere. And it's like, oh, it's all going to come crashing down because it's not leading anywhere, or I know this isn't my end game, and it's like feeling very burdensome. And, you know, maybe like day 1, day 2, day 3, and if we're like, you know, in year 5, it's like, oh my gosh, like this is going to be the death of me, you know? And so I feel like we've had to show a lot of patience, but I think you had to dig in very, very deep here to actually sit with yourself and come up with some sort of game plan that no one else is going to come up with. And so I feel like the next major shift here is you releasing what doesn't serve you, and then getting sort of fired up here to align yourself with this dream of yours or this new path of yours. And I feel like what you were wanting to feel, because I do feel something in regards to being acknowledged or celebrated or like in the limelight or visible, it's like that's coming. Okay, so let's say we were always like the person in the background producing or whatever. It's like, but I always wanted to be the actor or something, you know? It's like now we're the actor. Or I always was like, I don't know, the supporting character, you know, not the main character here. There seems to be a switch here. And so, like I was saying, the fall, and then we see the birth. So it's like the death and rebirth. And I feel like the new birth of you is somebody here who has all these tools and has the ability to push through and persevere through some of the challenges of the past. Because I feel like with the stubbornness and this trickery, it was like a mindset or an understanding that was hard to overcome. And then looking back, and I feel like with the inside looking out, it's even looking at ourselves or looking at our situation and feeling like, oh, it's helpless. There's nothing I can do, or like it's too late, or it's been too long, or I don't know, whatever the mind speak was. And it's like still staying small or giving to that employer or that workplace. Meanwhile, our heart was calling with this true identity to align ourselves with the dream calling. And I feel with all this yellow, I think it's taken a shitload of time for you to actually build up your own confidence in yourself to succeed and overcome and accomplish something. And it's like, wow, now I'm like certain, you know, I'm certain that this is for me and this is where I'm going to go and this is how I'm going to get there. And I feel like Yeah, with this self-awareness and even this 88, like I said in the card layout, a higher calling that is grounded in self-awareness, okay, and a reverence for life, because I feel like no more do we want to go back to where we were, because I do feel like it's, even if it wasn't like great pain, it's almost like great pain because it's so, it's feeling so disjointed from where you want to be. And over time is like, it's like killing your soul, like death by a million paper cuts, like I always say. And so it could have felt like we're carrying the world on our shoulders in some way. But I feel like this reverence for life, I feel like is like being connected to the whole and contributing to the whole from a heart space that now can be of service, that's beneficial rather than a secluded sort of island unto self doing transactional work. It's like, no, this is a purpose, and this is feeling very aligned, and this is something I can actually do and take action on and build within myself to overcome any of the self-speak that might have kept me small or kept me not wanting to do this. And I feel like we get such quick wins, okay? Because I do feel like if we were like trying to go up the hill or whatever, or lean in this direction, and it just seemed like it would take too long, or we'd have to show more patience, I think we would get very discouraged. And I think we were trying to prevent that. Like, oh, how long? And it's like, I'd rather just stay put. But I feel like we stayed put so long, and it's like out of not wanting to develop that thing that we thought might have taken too long. But I feel like just you telling the universe, hey, like I'm certain, and I want to work towards this. I feel like you're rewarded instantly here with some form of a recognition. So if it's your first product, it's like, wow, you're revered in that sort of niche of products. That's like, this is the next product, but I feel like it's more of your own personal self that gets appreciated or seen, like your talent, your skill with that magician energy. Like, wow, pile 2 really has a skill to do X, to act, or to put this together, or to heal people, if that's the calling that pile 2 is doing, or develop this program or this support or this, or whatever this thing is here. And I feel like maybe there was like a battle of like the egoic self with all of this yellow. Like I said, it's like maybe what we're doing is like, it's like our morals and our purpose versus like the ego wanting like money and profit and material. And that's the trickery, is like, did we sell our soul to the devil, staying put because it pays me, or am I actually filling my soul with soul food here? And for a long time, that restlessness, it's like, I have a dream, I have a dream, I have a dream, but it's never moving towards it. I think, well, we're about to burst here. And I feel like it's because this restlessness might have turned into like, well, one, I'm feeling a lot of passion towards this thing, which is going to help you drive it forward. Okay, all this will and passion and confidence, but I'm also feeling like we just can't know more. It's like maybe there's like a blow up, where it's like, oh, like a 10 wands, like it just had enough, and we might have a blow up. It's like, it's too much, it's too heavy, it's too draining, it's too repetitive, it's too boring, it's too like I'm selling my soul, and I know it. And how much longer can I do this and be honest with myself and smile? I can't do that no more. And so I feel like there's a need to concentrate on this new thing. And maybe this is the thing, is like, I didn't want to have to concentrate or do that thing, because what if it doesn't work? Or what if I can't get there? Or it's just like going to take me so long. But surprisingly, I don't feel it takes long. I feel like it's rewarding, and I feel like the freedom, like a release here, like a freedom from breaking through the chains of where we were stuck. And like I said, like initially the feeling I was getting from you was like this inside looking out, like never feeling a part of it or whole. It's like actions. It just felt like actions. You wake up, go to work for someone else, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, That doesn't feel good. So let's see. Spirits, for pile number 2 in this next major shift, energy shift. So what can they expect? can we dive in a deeper layer here for pile 2? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. Now, if you're watching around the time of fall, is very significant because I do feel like fall time is, yeah, look at this, the passion, the fire, the drive. And this can talk about a spark of inspiration, but it's like, I feel like we were really just blah, you know, like we didn't have a zest for life. Nothing was firing me up. And this could even be like, finally, like we hear something or we see something or read something or someone comes along or something that's like, whoa, now I see it, you know, and it opens this door to this thing. It's like the spark that gets everything sort of ablaze, like one little flame. And I think it leads to this like massive shift. Okay. But I think you had to like take action on that because that match could just go off if we just let the match sort of sit there. It's like we see the match, light the match, and then it's like, what do I want to do with this thing? Spirit for pile 2, can we see this next significant shift of energy for pile 2? The 3 of Swords in reverse. You know, like I said, death by a million paper cuts, because it's like, it almost felt like with the 3 of Swords in reverse. Oh, and I even said at the beginning of when you guys are picking cards, like I can't breathe. It feels like I can't breathe because it almost feels like, I can't explain this energy. Maybe you'll know, like, you know, when we sort of have an idea or an understanding of like where it is that we're going or what needs to be done, but we keep prolonging it, or like we just feel like hostage somewhere else, but it's like our own sort of doing. And it's like I'm getting procrastination from this, you know, because it's like, oh, like then I gotta do the thing, or I gotta face the thing, or I gotta then see what it is that comes to the surface on that path that I was just sort of liking, keeping it as a dream. But now that I turn to it, it's like, okay, what sort of challenge is really there? You know, then I really got to sort of face it and see it and be truthful about it and acknowledge this thing. And we were procrastinating or delaying, but I feel like we finally, like I said, have some thing that is like, wow, let me actually deal with this, because the other world is sort of dry, boring, heavy, or the blow up. Like I said, maybe the blow up forces us to turn our nose in this direction, but it's like a blessing here. Okay, it really is a blessing here. But I think we were just preventing. Whatever we are doing is like preventing a loss. I don't want to lose out, or I don't want to be without, or I don't want to, whatever it is, prevent. So I delay and I procrastinate. Okay, that's coming to an end. Pile number 2, because that comes from you, you know, it's coming from you. Okay, strength in reverse. Yeah, like a lack of willpower and drive. Okay, and this is like, I don't have it in me, or it's going to take too much, or I'm going to have to confront this, or spend the time, spend the energy, spend the efforts, you know. And maybe we were being a little bit lazy or hedonistic. It's like right here is immediate sort of okayness, you know, but it's like, it's mediocre. It's like, but joy's on the other side of this. Yeah. So let's see. What's the Ace of Wands here about? Oopsie, one went fine. There she is. 7 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, like I don't have it in me to fight for what I want, because this is like fighting for what matters, like having that fire from within and being like totally like, I don't care what I gotta do to like overcome, you know, what it is that I'm siding with or what I believe in. And this is just like, I'll just sort of let it sort of defeat me. I don't want to step up to it. I don't want to step up to it. We got to ask what this is, you guys, because I feel like it's something you really want, but what could it be? Could it be, I don't know. We're going to see what this could be, okay? Six of Swords in reverse. Yeah, we'll just sort of stay put in the misery here because it's a misery I know, rather than the courage to face the unknown. But then feeling like left out, feeling like an outsider, not feeling connected to, not feeling joy, not feeling pleasure. It's like cutting ourselves off at the knees. Like, I deserve to sit here and suffer in the darkness, or in the disappointments, or in the numbness, or in the everydayness. Meanwhile, it's like boring. Okay, yeah, beautiful. Following your heart's contentment. Okay, Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So again, like, I don't have the resource, or I don't have the confidence, or I don't, yeah, maybe you felt dependent on your environment, or someone else paid your bill, or you had to pay something, or I don't know. Maybe you needed a place, or you needed a car, or you needed the thing. Like I said, there was trickery though, because you didn't need the thing. Like, these are two different things. This is emotions and what speaks to my heart. And this is like, okay, 3D. And yes, we are in the 3D. So we could say, well, the 3D was sort of keeping me hostage. It's like, no, actually the 3D wasn't keeping you hostage. It was what was going on inside, the self-speak, the trickery. And I think we get the spark because it's like, I know now, or I see, or someone comes along, or I understand there's like an opportunity here in front of you that maybe never came, you know? It's like, wow, I see that job posting, I'm going to take it. Or like, okay, first person to sort of reach out, like, can I have this, I don't know, studio? It's like, whoa, my dream, finally, you know? Or like, I don't know. Because for some of you guys, it could definitely be a relationship, you know, where it's like, man, just kind of blah, 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 day in, day out. And then it's like, whoa, I meet someone here and there's sparks flying, you know? And then it's like, yeah, but now we have to sort of know that we're worthy of love and starting over, like, have the confidence to like move in this direction. And it's like, I'll just sort of stay here and suffer. Queen of Wands. Yeah, the confidence. Okay, but this again, like, Queen of Wands talks about a mask. Okay, we have public image and true identity. I feel like we might have been wearing a mask, or thinking we needed a certain appearance, or certain mask, or needed something, because I feel like maybe you felt you couldn't just be you. And maybe you still feel like, I can't just be me, and I need to look this way, or have this thing, or I don't know, like, trickery again. Like, I'm expected to look and do and be all these things, and that's what's holding me back. But I feel like something overrides this now, you know, whereas that used to be the story of the past. That used to keep you in place. I feel like no longer. Look at this beautiful new beginning, you guys. A new beginning in love, a beginning that fires us up. It's like a reason to get up in the morning. It motivates us. It drives us. And for some of you guys, it's like an attraction, like I said, like it turns you on, it fires you up, it gets your gears going here. Oh my goodness, 10 of Cups, you guys. It's ultimate fulfillment and joy. 10 of Cups, okay? It's like your joy, your fulfillment, and this includes others. So your community, your relationship, your workplace where you're bringing joy to other people, and it's emotionally fulfilling. It's like, yeah, I choose emotions. I don't choose whatever this was, because I feel like what you were choosing, or where you felt you had to stay, was very pentacle-like. Like, it was very much trading pentacle for emotions. And it's like feeling heavy, feeling dry, feeling bored, feeling like the life force was drained out of you here. So it's coming back. But let's see, what is this about? And maybe for all of you guys, you already know, because I do feel it's different for everyone. Okay. And I do feel you've been in this state for quite some time. And I don't feel like it's this thing that you don't know what it is, like your North Star. I feel like you know what the North Star is, but we've been hanging out in the South Star, you know? We've been hanging out here, procrastinating or delaying, not being assertive, convincing ourselves of I don't know what. But I feel you feel like totally seen. I feel you feel totally appreciated, especially with that Queen of Wands. And I think that boosts your confidence. Whatever this is boosting your confidence in yourself, you know? Whereas in the past, I feel like you might have felt very challenged and alone and having to drive this dry agenda. And maybe we just didn't want to navigate our emotions to get to this treasure, you know? But we'll see. And this restlessness, too, kept coming through, because I do feel like it's like, yeah, that's that feeling. I said, I can't breathe. We're restless. Like, you know, it's like, just want to get there already, or like, how do I get there? Or like, I don't know how I'm going to get there, or what I got to do. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? So let's see. For pile number 2, Spirit, what is this about? What is this blessing? Because I feel like it's your North Star blessing. Can we get any information for the viewer in regards to what this could be about? 9 of Cups in reverse. So we were sacrificing our emotional happiness. And like I said, some of you guys, it could have been laziness. This could have been like immediate things in the 3D world that weren't deep in bringing us true joy. Okay, so it's like, well, this feels good. It's like, yeah, but after we eat like 10 bags of potato chips and don't do anything, then we feel like shit, you know? And it's like, oh, this job pays well. And it's like we get all these paychecks, and then it's like we're sitting in our house by ourselves lonely. Like, it seems to be a trade-off here where I think we're realizing I'm not happy here. It's actually not truly fulfilling. And so it's trading a 9 cups in reverse to a 10 cups. And maybe it was like because we felt like we had to do it alone. But now I feel with 10 cups, there's like other people, and I'm feeling this exaltation is like two-sided. So what is this, Spirit? What is this major shift here about? Can we get a deeper look at pile 2's blessing, or this North Star? 3 cups. Yes, you're people where you're appreciated, celebrated. Cups, again, is all about our emotions. It's like truly being recognized, right, over this exaltation, celebrated, like people actually see you, they get you, they understand you. It's not like you're on the outside, but you're a part of it, you know, you're part of building it. Like, I'm doing it, you know? Wow, that's beautiful. Like, you're doing it, but you're involved in it. 9 of Pentacles in reverse again. So I think this was the challenge, is like feeling like you couldn't belong in some way, or that you had to depend on some external resource. I feel like as well the confidence thing here. Okay, so let's see. What's with this 9 of Cups in reverse? Like the confidence to approach people or to engage with people. Maybe I was like, I have to involve myself with people, you know? Sometimes we get like that, where it's like, oh, especially before, you know, we maybe connect to something emotional, and that's that spark, is like, I don't know, that could prevent us from a lot of things, you know, not wanting to be seen and shutting ourselves off from the world. I could kind of relate with that energy, you know. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so we just don't go after the opportunity, but then we sit there in 9 cups in reverse, like not getting what we want. And this is a form of sabotage. It's like, I deserve to just kind of be here alone. But it's like, no, you have a beautiful opportunity in front of you, and it's for you. But what is this opportunity? A community, celebrating. This could also talk about pregnancy. So I feel like, yeah, and look, right by birth, you guys, this could be like giving birth to, it could be very symbolic, okay, if you're not wanting any children, but a birth to something, a family, a relationship, an identity that is actually more aligned with your calling, okay, but it's like in the emotional space, I feel. Hierophant in reverse, yeah, like no longer, I don't know, I feel like no longer sort of committing yourself to something that you felt you had to do to be there for other people, or were trained to do, or believe that you had to stay there. And it's breaking outside of some mold. So maybe, I don't know, like a group of people maybe that you wouldn't normally hang out with, or a community you wouldn't typically hang out with or get involved with. But let's see, why is 9 Pentacles here then in reverse? Eight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you have to come out of your own mental prison of self-confidence, I feel here, okay? And really sort of dependent on that old world to do something, but what it was doing was actually making you feel heavy, making you feel more isolated, and more feeling like I can't or I won't be able to. So we have the Chariot success. I don't read bottom of the deck in reverse. Both of these are go time, you know. 8 Wands, very fast. Okay, it's a breakthrough. Chariot is success, is balance, is it stops at nothing to gain victory here. Cancer energy. What is this, though, Spirit? I want to see. What is this Three of Cups? Can we get clarity on this Three of Cups? Three of Cups. What is this energy shift? Three of Cups. The Queen of Swords. And Ace of Pentacles, new beginning. There's this opportunity again. So, beautiful angel. I feel like you're aligning yourself through clarity and seeing clearly through who is aligned with your heart's calling. And I feel like you're truly understood and seen. And I feel like you could speak your truth and you can involve yourself in a way here that I feel like matters. It's like what I say matters. My soul matters. I can contribute. I'm understood. I'm welcomed. I'm valued. I'm making a difference and influence. I also feel like there's a lot here to do with, look at 10 swords, a lot to do with your ability to communicate. We saw 8 wands rather than shut down. Maybe you felt like you couldn't really speak your truth, you know, like really speak from the heart and really connect with something that feels authentic to you, because it's like, I won't be understood. So I just stay quiet, or I just don't talk, or I don't get involved. This is about to change here. Okay. And I feel like this is all about an opportunity in front of you that has been there that you weren't taking. And it could very well be accepting that the old version or whatever you have to let go of, because I do feel with the 10 swords is an end of something. And it could have been preventing, you know, like you preventing this letting go or this release of something here in order to move towards what you want. Even though I feel like this was not making you happy. And it could be, I don't want to create pain, or I don't want to create suffering for another, or I don't want to completely detach from something maybe that you still wanted to be involved with, you know, but it's like, how do I move into this new world? And then we just stay put because we didn't have any answers. But I feel like with the Ace of Wands, it's Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, like I feel like your whole world is shifting in every regard by making this change. And it's like, I no longer am staying there because I feel bad, or I feel guilty, or I feel like I have to stay there because that's my family's place of birth, or what's expected of me, or, you know, it's like, no, I'm now being honest with myself and what I want and how I'm understood and how I want to spend my time. Yeah. So, beautiful angel, this is your reading. Do we feel like something is missing here? I kind of do. I don't know why. But let's see. I'm going to leave it an open floor here for spirits to communicate whatever you need to know, because I feel like there's questions coming. Spirits, questions for the viewer that they might have. Help me to channel in a way the viewer will understand anything that was missed, anything they need to know about this shift of energy, this next major change in their world. What do they need to know? How do we get them on track here? What do they need to know? 6 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, lack of confidence, you guys, and maybe feeling like I might fail. And so we just don't, because we might fail, you know? Lovers in reverse. Yeah, not going down the path. The choice is in front of you guys. And some of you guys, like I said, could be a relationship. 10 of Pentacles. It's going to be where you could build your legacy. Commit to this beautiful thing, because I feel it's going to build a 10 Cups and a 10 Pentacles, which is your ultimate happiness. Okay, 10 Pentacles talks about a family. 3 Cups talks about a community. It's like something that would stand the test of time, leave a legacy behind. Okay, it's your destined path that is just like, I can't because I won't succeed. But we're looking at it from a personal success, or like personal victory. Meanwhile, you got the Chariot. It's like the universe is backing you. It's not you on your own, you know, and maybe you thought, well, I got to move this alone or do it alone. It's like, no, the universe is backing you. This is Lovers. It's universe. Okay, so you're being called to invest and involve yourself in this thing. And I feel like you do. But for a very long time, the fear of failure, the lack of confidence, and the mind speak with this trickery was preventing. And I think maybe we didn't want a whole lot of change, you know, with the 5. We didn't want to confront or change or shift, or I don't know. Why 6 Wands here? Again, this is this public image, okay? Maybe we were concerned, what will people think, with the Hierophant in reverse? And it's like, we don't care anymore, you know, what people think or what they'll say, because it's like, I know what I truly want. And so in the past, like, oh, I'll just sort of keep playing out this image that people want me to be, but be miserable, you know? Yeah, 2 Pentacles in reverse. So we're no longer in two minds about it, going back and forth about it. The Lovers in reverse, Gemini energy. Oops, this one went flying at me. 9 Pentacles, and it kind of landed like this. So we saw this now 3 times, okay, but it's been in reverse. I feel you're working through your confidence is what I feel. And also, I do feel there's something in regards to your stability. So it's like, I don't know how to break from this job or break from this place that I live, this town, this house, or how to pay my bill or how to support myself financially, or the resource I need is missing, you know? But again, trickery. It's not true. You just need to show up and the universe has your back, you know? Because part of this was like the sabotage energy of staying put and then humming and hawing here for who knows how long. It's like, no more. Show that one. So we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, like this is exactly it, you guys. It's like either a hum and haw, hum and haw, hum and haw, and stay here in the world and keep talking the Pentacle story and why I won't succeed. Or I could like choose the path of the Lovers and fulfill this 10 of Cups, which is ultimate happiness here. Like 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. And like, you don't get happier than that. 8 of Wands. Yeah, breakthrough. Beautiful. And I feel it's the past that's been holding you back. You know, we've been more invested energetically in maintaining the past, maintaining, supporting, and feeling stuck there, you know? It's like, but it's like a symbiotic sort of connection in the past that keeps me sort of there. And then it feeds me and then I keep it there alive and it's like stuck there. And I felt the energy was like feeding it. And now it's like, no, I'm having a breakthrough and trusting that I could succeed with the universe towards my soul's purpose calling, which for some of you guys, like I said, could be a relationship, but it's just how you relate with people in the world here, you know, Lovers and 10 of Cups, like ultimate happiness. And then it's rewarding financially because this could build to a home. This could build to a long-term career. This builds to abundance financially as well as emotionally. Okay. Yeah. And I think you were maybe thinking you had to trade your happiness to build some empire and that you would build it here. Like eventually you'd build it here, but it's like, no, I realize that I don't have to trade one for the other. And I could build this beautiful empire in the 3D world, but also engage with being fulfilled at the same time. Oh my gosh, you guys, beautiful Empress. So what is this? This is true abundance. Okay. This is knowing your self-worth. This is the card of unconditional love and abundance. And this is where we cultivate and generate it, this from within, when we know what we're worthy of and we come from a place of the heart. And then the outside world starts to manifest around us all of the abundance. So yeah, I feel like we're releasing a lot of the past energy, and I feel like we've been tricking ourselves under an understanding that we had to stay someplace. And now it's like, no, I know my self-worth. I know where there's going to be abundance for me. And from a place of love, you can align yourself there. It's so beautiful. All right. This is Taurus Libra. So beautiful angels, this is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. All right. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys picked the card of nature, card 32, or the number 5. So we're taking a look at the next major shift energetically, what's going to change in your world, either within you or around you, and see what Spirit wants to communicate. So I do have the cards we'll use here, and we will pick them together or shuffle them together, but you can certainly skip ahead if you want. Okay, but do use this time to develop your intuition for those of you guys wanting to connect to your intuition and make sure that this is indeed your pile. So spirits, pile number 3, we're looking at the next significant shift in the energy for pile 3. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Thank you, spirits. Thank you, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. What is the next major shift going on for pile 3, spirit? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. That one there. One there. 4 more for pile 3. Clear and concise message for pile 3 in regards to the next major shift, change in their world that they need to know about right here, right now, Spirit. Thank you so much. 2 more decks for pile 3. Nope. And one of these. One more. All right, let's take a look. So we have escape, Mars in Pisces, Chariot energy, Cancer energy I'm feeling as well, and 12 is the Hangman. All right, and then we have originality, and we have Mercury in Aquarius with the number 11. And we have lust, Venus in Aries. Wow, number 1. Cover that up. And we have a volcano. If some of you guys were called to pile 2, there could be a message there for you. There was a volcano there, although very different. We have one erupting here in the background. An iguana. Okay, and then we have soften. Melted candle here. And we have illuminate. The Hermit's Lantern. Okay, and then we have ripe fruits, 33. 33 is a master number. Reproduction, creativity, humor, Christ consciousness, joy, and harmony. And we have planning, 43 and 7. Escape routes, inventiveness, possibilities, projects, imagination, and improvisation. Type 7, enthusiast, thinking center between pleasure and pain. Some Cancer energy, which we are feeling with the Chariot here. Green is the heart chakra. Okay, and then we have 29 and 2, discharge, awareness, refusal, self-forgetfulness, inhibition, self-censorship, needs suppression, unconscious prohibition. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving with the root chakra. Okay, well, 2s are all about balance, duality, choices, feeling high priestess, which is Pisces energy, justice, which is Libra. Okay, and then we have imagine. Wow, didn't we have something here? Inventiveness, possibilities, imagination. Number 20 or number 2 again. So 22 is divinely guided relationship, healthy energetic boundaries, peacemaker, diplomacy. Peacemaker, someone's planning something here. Something's being illuminated or understood here. Escape. Ripe fruits. Okay, and then we have universal love. Wow, with another 2. So 222, triple 2s. Okay, mystical experience, growth level with 83. Union with divine love. So this green ray is coming through again with the heart chakra. Okay, true self-worth, self-love, union of souls, unconditional love, profound compassion. Type 2, then it's in French. Okay, which is giving and receiving. Discharge. Awareness, refusal. It's like a denial energy here. Okay, and then we have labyrinth, 23, 32. Look at the mirroring here. 32, 23, mirrored numbers. 5, labyrinth. Okay, we see the cloud with all the spirals. Talk about cyclical behaviors, confusion. And we have hiding again. We said denial here, devil energy, Capricorn energy, look, covering our ears and our eyes. See no evil, hear no evil. There's a speak no evil. Hiding, okay? And then we have explore. Scary, because it looks overwhelming here with all the mushrooms, although this is looking like the imagination. And there's the mouth. Sticking out the tongue. Okay, let's tap into this energy before we do the tarot. All of these wishes, dandelion seeds going into seed is wishes. Pile number 3. Interesting reading. It might become more clear as we do the tarot and peel it back. Some things are already clear, but there's a big and for me, I don't really understand, but maybe you'll understand and we'll see where this is going. Because a lot of this, I feel, is what you're going through. Okay, I feel like there is an in denial and has been. And maybe this is the thing that's shifting, as in maybe we just got so exhausted, of this in denial here, suppressing. And I feel like the suppression was pretend something doesn't exist in order for me to be okay with, I don't know, whatever. That's the part I'm not really understanding. I feel like there is an understanding here that I feel might have taken some time to work through, that we were resisting. And we could have had a lot of stories tied to why, because I do feel with the soften, it's almost like what I'm getting is, if I admit this, if I give into this, it'll sort of be the death of me, maybe not that strong, but eventually it'll lead to nothing, or it will ruin me, or I will lose control, or I'll lose my form or my ability to do something here. And so maybe we felt unprepared. But I feel like there is this fine line that maybe we weren't understanding. Obviously, when we force something or something doesn't feel right, then it's not right. And we might have to plan and work through it. But then I feel like sometimes when things are right and flowing, we could definitely resist, deny, and ignore it, to the point where the universe is trying to get us to get involved. I feel like there's a dream of sorts with imagine, possibilities, imagination, improvisation, and escape that keeps us safe. Safe from, I don't know what, getting hurt in some way, or losing control, or losing ourselves. I don't know. And I feel like there is a calling, and there's been a calling to see and step up to the truest, authentic calling of self, to speak and walk and talk and express self from the heart. Now, this says lust. And this is ripe fruits. And maybe with this planning, it's like we didn't want to act prematurely, or we didn't want to take action on the wrong cause. Lust is kind of fleeting here. It's like it might fizzle out in some way, or it might be one and done, and maybe we were wanting something to marinate, is a word that's coming through. And I feel it's been marinating for a very, 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 very long time here. I'm seeing all of these dandelion seeds. And so to me, those are our wishes. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe we wish a million times here. But it's staying in the ethers. It's like imagination and an escape form, and not reality. Whatever this is not reality at all, And it's like a dream with this lust. Maybe it's like, oh, it really calls to me. And it's like, so I'll just stay here in the dream state where it's sort of safe. But I don't want to see any part of the reality. And I don't want to invest in any or hear anything of it. So I'll close my eyes and close my ears to it. And then I stay in this sort of dream state with these clouds because I'm really getting the 7 cups sort of energy. But then feeling like I'm doing circles or not getting anywhere. Okay, now we have planning. So I feel like maybe there was no foresight into how to plan or why we needed to plan or to do the planning at all. And this could definitely be something that is coming through as now's the time with this ripe fruits. Okay, but 33 talks about creativity and this imagination and this escape. It's like, were we having to work on a plan of like how to process something or navigate something or see your way through something? Because I feel like the only way to really learn through something is to explore something, even if it's unknown, even if it's overwhelming. And we're seeing all of these mushrooms which talk about the interconnectedness of everything and everyone. It's like a network here. And it just feels so kind of overwhelming, but it almost feels like a dream even, you know, like this escape. And like I said, this like very sort of Neptunian energy that's pulling through your reading all over the place. But how do we ground it in reality? And I'm feeling with all this red and this devil, there is something here that's unhealthy about keeping it in fantasy or keeping in our head about it or not grounding something again, because this is all about grounding, like being able to plan so we could take action. And I feel like there's some sort of understanding about a plan or coming to be visible. Profound compassion, union of souls, true self-worth. And we could have stayed here sort of in this mystical world of fantasy and dream because it's like I'm not worthy of this, or somehow within me I don't feel like this is for me, because it's either too good to be true or it's requiring something of me I don't see in myself. And so I just tell myself it's not for me, or I don't know how I could do it or see my way through it. It's overwhelming. Okay, so what about it though? You know what I mean? What about it? Like we have to work our way through. Are we seeing our way through? Let's see. Is this what's coming through? Because with soften, it might be wherever it was like, I don't know, like really fixed, you know, we have fixation here. So maybe there was a fixation on how it had to be or how it had to go. And there's a softening of this, but this feels like no form at all. It might feel very uncomfortable to you. Spirits, what is this reading about? Clear and concise message for pile 3 in regards to the next major change, significant shift of energy happening in pile 3's world. Did I say pile 2? Pile 3's world. What is this next major shift happening in pile 3's world? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. The Hermit in reverse, right over top of the illuminate, like I said, was Hermit energy. We didn't see our way or understand our way through this, I think is, and there goes my email confirming. Thank you, Spirit. I think we're seeing our way through something, how to plan through something that just seemed like a dream. Too good to be true is what it feels like here. How do I get there? What do I do? How do I invest and engage and involve myself with this thing? We might have not have seen ourselves as part of that, you know, like part of that world, or like I belong in that world. It seems very foreign, but I want it, or I want to explore it, or I'm pulled to it, I'm called to it. It feels like it's part of your like experience here, but I don't know, I was being resisted. Definitely feels like a dream for you. Yeah, even with the Chariot, like I said, that's moving forward, that's success. Spirit, what's going on here for pile 3 in regards to this energy shift? for pile 3. So we have Virgo energy, we have 10 Pentacles, and we have the Hierophant, Taurus energy. Wow. So 10 Pentacles and the Hierophant both talk about a commitment. Letting go of something. I think you're actually committing to something here. This is what it looks like to me. And maybe it was like, how do I do this, you know? And we're too held back, too guarded, in our comfort zone, maybe not wanting to commit or move forward in some way. Two of Wands at a crossroads. I need to choose. And that's also the planning. Yeah, the Lovers fell on my lap here. Gemini energy. So this is both about choice, and it's like two wands. One is the comfort zone, stay where I am, and the other wand is move in the direction of change, which is foreign, but also it's choosing love, which we have here, because one's fear. Fear is this lack mindset or scarcity. If I let go, then blah, 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 blah. So I'll stay put, but that's choosing fear. The other one's like, I choose love. And when I choose love, then it's like out of my control in some way. And it feels very fantastical here with all of this like dreamy energy of like a better future or some sort of dreamy thing. It really feels like a dream come true that's I can't even fathom. But it's like, how do I commit and build this thing and like give of myself to this thing? Yeah, self. It feels like, how do I give of myself to engage in this thing would require me to trust it and let go and get involved and like choose it. But I'd have to do some sort of groundwork here, which is that planning. So let's see. Why is this Four of Pentacles in the sideways position here? I think you're coming out of your comfort zone here, because I feel the comfort zone, it was creating cyclical confusion. Like lots of confusion, cyclical behaviors. And with the Devil, with all this red and this 15 is like, yeah, like stuck by like my own chains, you know? I feel you've been stuck in your head, even though I'm not seeing swords here. I do feel it's like something like this, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Yeah, not moving forward, and inability to work with the universe here towards progressing something, you know? So it would require acknowledging it. It would require choosing love. It would require committing to something here. I feel this is what you're working through, so you're not as held back, because I feel there was a real suppression here of something, and I don't know, like escapism. Opportunity, Page of Pentacles, an official commitment being offered. So either you're offering it to someone or someone's offering this to you. I don't know, one or the other. But I feel like you're needing to accept some form of commitment here, because it takes you saying yes, you choosing. Ace of Wands, where you were held back in the past. Okay, it's moving towards some opportunity here that's been stunted or stuck or incapable of moving. But I want to see, what is this dreamy energy here, Spirit? This Neptune energy that I'm feeling. What is this? What is this imagination, fantasy, escape feeling here for pile number 3? What is this? Three of Swords in reverse. We were trying to prevent some sort of heartbreak or some difficult experience or some, again, with Four Pentacles in reverse, it's like, I don't want to, like, I want to prevent getting hurt. I want to prevent disappointments or rejections or separation. So I stay put. I don't move, or I stay held back. King of Cups. Yeah. King of Cups loves the deepest. The King of Cups connects to his emotions on a very mature, deep level of understanding. And I feel like with all this blue too here is like, I'm asking about what is this imagination and this like Neptunian energy, and we're seeing a lot of this like emotional depth coming through, but this emotional depth creates an opening for hurts, you know, like to be disappointed, to be let down, to be betrayed, to be maybe experience pain again, and we could have already healed from pain. Now we're not wanting to experience pain, so it's like, how do I prevent this? But I feel like there's something really speaking to your soul with this King of Cups, like very deep, very much connected to love and emotional space here. So let's see. What is this transformation? Wow. Scorpio energy coming through very strong now. Had to release something and change something. And I feel like, yeah, even with this 5, it's like a lot, you know, like the 5s are all about this loss and change and rebuild, and this death brings a lot of this transformation. Okay, but in order to have new, we have to let go of the old. And I feel like with the 4 Pentacles, our hands are full and we have to let go. So the next major change is you letting go of the past, you letting go of past hurts, you letting go of like any reservations or hesitations towards moving and committing to your heart's content, something you dream of, because I feel something you've wished for like so many times. Like, I don't know, maybe you had so many dreams or so many prayers. It's like, I feel you really, really, really want this, but it's like, whoa, but I'm sort of staying put, or I don't know, I can't choose it for whatever reason. It's like, yeah, because we need to release and change parts of self that we're still hanging on to the hurts or the story that I can't get hurt or shouldn't get hurt or can't do this. Okay, so why is 3 Swords here in reverse? Yeah, I feel you're exploring this. The Sun in reverse. Oh, and look, this is Illuminate. Okay, so yeah, it's like we weren't seeing clearly. When we see clearly, we don't let fear sort of dictate, because we see through the illusion of the devil. And I think we didn't want to see something. And of course, if we say consciously, we'd want to see, but it's like we didn't want to see something subconsciously with the devil here. Because seeing would mean a need for a transformation, a need for a release, a need to acknowledge something. And what does that mean? When we acknowledge something, we have to deal with the ouch. We have to confront the ouch. It's like, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. So I'll just pretend here in the daydream, you know, and the escape, keeping it sort of as a dream for later, or as a nighttime, sleepy time prayer. I don't know, you know? And it's like one day in the future, like this planning. Okay, but I feel like what's happening, and this next major shift, is an actual realization that's delayed, that's taken time, that now is the time. And the shift is happening whether we like it or not. The release of the old is coming whether we like it or not. Parts of self that is no longer needed at this point in my life is being released in order for me to align with my heart's content, which might feel very scary. 4 of Cups. Yeah, like I wouldn't go after it because I was more complacent here. Maybe feeling like I'd be more grounded if I stay put. And it's like the universe is offering this cup of love. It's like, but I'm here and I'm not seeing what's being offered in front of me. So this could be the card of boredom. This could be the card of like rejection, or feeling like, yeah, dejected, or just like not interested. But I feel again like is like, don't look at it and it doesn't exist. Like, why is death here? Why is death here? So we have Leo, Scorpio, and Cancer, Pisces, and then we have 9 Cups. Wow. Pile number 3. You're going to say, why did I not do this before? I feel like something here brings you a lot of happiness. This is wish fulfillment. These are wishes. Your wishes are being fulfilled here, okay? The minute you release what isn't for you, and I feel like what isn't for you is maybe a story of how it has to be, or who you think that where you need to stay or be. I think that that is coming from fear. I think that's coming from fear. Okay, I know we're not seeing any moon here, but I do feel it's like preventative. I don't want to experience any suffering, or I don't want to experience a loss of control, or maybe even like my own self might lose form or might lose my power. Maybe we have a lot of idea of what control means. And so if we keep it in fantasy, it's like I don't have to engage and I won't lose my own form, you know? It's like it might take a hold of me and then I'll never be the same. And then eventually it'll wither away, like, and become nothing. Like I said, like, I don't know, that's this Three Swords. Like the greater anticipation of the fear is bigger than what we would experience here. So we're finally seeing something different. And I do feel like this is happiness beyond measure, because this is the happiest card in the tarot, whether it's reverse or upright. It's joy. This is just prolonged happiness here, preventing heartbreak. And I think we haven't seen or accepted some part of a self that was hurt, you know? It's like releasing that, being okay with that and looking at it and saying, oh, I didn't die, and I can release it. And now I see it clearly for what it is, you know? And everything that was happening as a result of this, carrying this Three Swords, either preventing it or of the past, it was like creating you feeling like you couldn't entertain any new beginning. It's like your feelings rejected, shut down. And this is the opposite. It's like being completely emotionally fulfilled. Nine of Wands. So this is the wounded warrior, resilient warrior that's going through a spiritual battle, who's not given up, who can face whatever he's needing to face. And I feel like this is sort of this planning here. Like he's writing it down. He's been concocting something here. I don't know. Like maybe you've been giving so much to the dream, you know, like planning, but there's only so much planning before there needs to be a doing. In fact, I don't see a doing here. And so maybe this is talking about this next sort of major shift, is this like realization that's like, wow, I got to plan to commit to something that I've been rejecting, that I haven't been acknowledging or seeing, that I need to work on releasing, because that's where my happiness lies, you know? Like I can't give up on this thing. Even if I feel like I'll be out of control in some way, it's like originality. Like maybe you wanted to come up with some solid plan, you know, like how will I navigate? But I think this is something you can't really navigate. Look at the labyrinth. We didn't want to get lost, you know, maybe lost in our heart, lost in our feelings, lost in exploring this thing. It's like, no, I don't want to see it. I don't want to explore it. Okay, let's see, because I do feel like we're missing. Oh, okay. Spirit's really giving it to me now, because I feel like we're still not getting very clear here. So we asked about what was the dream or the fantasy, and I feel like the fantasy is what you want, your wish, was kind of keeping it as a fantasy so you wouldn't have to do something here. So let's see, Spirit, for pile number 3, what is this shift then in this energy that they've been maintaining, this resistance or this in denial or suppression or unacknowledgement? What is shifting here? What do they need to know? What has been missed? What questions do they have here that I can answer? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Thank you, Spirit. I just keep hearing now's the time here with this ripe fruits. And I feel like now's the time for you. Maybe you just never felt ready, you know? You could never see it happening. Let's see, Spirits, what's going on? Oh, that one's sideways. 7 of Wands. Yeah, like I don't want to fight for it, or I'm not going to commit to it. There's too many obstacles to fight through. Fighting for what matters, although this does feel like it matters to you. Oopsie, Star, Aquarius energy. So let me put that one that's behind it. So this is all about our wish. You have a wish. Okay, but the Star can talk about destiny, also talks about a need to heal. So 3 swords in reverse, that was definitely a need to heal. Judgment, we're seeing something now, understanding something now, what we want for ourselves for the future, what we want to fight for. Maybe in the past is like, I don't have it in me, or I don't know if that's where I want to fight for, because Many different reasons why, you know. I feel it's devilly, whatever the reasons were. Okay, what's after judgment? Because this is all about us having an awakening, a realization, something is illuminated to us that can't be unseen. And it's involving your wish, it's involving your future, and it's involving healing some part of self in order for you to align yourself with towards what you're wanting. And I feel what the 9 wands and the 7 wands is defensive energy. So we could have been really like keeping people out or really like fighting against what we wanted, you know, rather than fighting for and committing to. Yeah. So 6 Pentacles, giving to something, committing to something, investing in something. Why is this star here? Why is this star here? Knight of Cups. So yeah, where we want to show our love. This is all about opening our hearts in a way here that expresses how we feel. That's what this Knight of Cups is, okay? Moving towards something here that in the past we just sort of kept bottled in. Ace of Wands, yeah, didn't move towards it. And we have the Empress in reverse. So maybe we felt like we didn't deserve it, or we didn't see self-worth, or we couldn't connect to some part of self here. Okay, Empress could talk about mother wounds as well. So it's like I can't give, and I have a difficult time receiving and giving of love, expressing my own emotions because of my own needs to connect to the divine feminine nature within me, regardless of your gender. So this could be like, I got to be tough, or I got to be in control, or I cannot love in a way here that keeps me vulnerable or exposed, you know, or I don't know how, or I'm incapable of contributing to this thing, or I don't know, something like this. But I feel there's an understanding, and there's also this seeing where we were sort of not wanting to go or explore. And then this created a suppression of our own emotions and an inability to move towards what we wanted, which is about to shift here, because I feel you're coming out of that defensive energy and towards something that's more pointed, more planned. Like, what do I want to fight towards? And also surrendering, because this is my card of surrender in reverse. It's like I surrender to the feelings. I surrender to what is so I can align myself better with what I want. But I have to give to it. I have to commit to it. I have to invest in it. You know, and this might be a big thing, like, because it's like, whoa, am I worthy of love? Am I deserving of abundance here? Like, we were blocking love. We were blocking abundance. Yeah, 7 Swords, a big fat lie, okay? In denial, like I said, when I was laying the cards out here, there's an in denial that was coming through, an avoidance. I want to avoid it, and if I pretend it's not there, then it doesn't exist, you know? But it's like, well, what do you mean? You're saying a million times here how you feel, that something's connecting to your heart, that it's your wish here. Okay, this is universal love, meaning, yeah, like, look, self-love, true self-worth. If we don't have self-love and true self-worth, we cannot connect. We can't be open to giving and receiving. And I feel this was blocked, okay? And so through unconditional love, through working through the devil, through seeing our own mask, our own lie, our own avoidance, by acknowledging this thing, we're now able to be free to move towards and invest in something here that really feels aligned and feels like your heart talks to it, but it's just like this dream. 8 of Cups, but it requires you to walk away from something with the Death card. And what you're walking away from, I feel, is something that was emotionally not fulfilling. But maybe we were lying to ourselves staying there. Let's see. I feel like that's what we need to see. Why we're staying put maybe in some place, because we are avoiding the 3 Swords, or maybe looking at a 3 Swords that has happened. So we've been 7 Swords. Okay, 7 Swords if I ever saw. Okay, creating a lot of this confusion. So let's see. What is pile number 3 sort of needing to leave behind, or what is this final sort of shift that allows pile 3 to move forward and commit to something? What do we need to know? Let's close out this reading with something that will help pile 3 in seeing their way through this planning, this understanding. this judgment that they're having. What are they leaving behind? What do they need to break free from? What is this devilly energy here that's creating this suffering? The Four of Swords in reverse. So there was a need to heal and a need to reflect and a need to be honest with the Three Swords, because we have three swords isolated here, which is the three swords in the heart, and sitting with the truth. The truth shall set you free. So I didn't want to experience a Three Swords, or I wasn't being honest with myself about what a Three Swords looks like. And I needed time to reflect. Also, this could be our sense of equilibrium completely just out of whack, you know? Like I don't feel secure. I don't feel rooted. I don't feel grounded. I don't feel clear-headed. And so I'm sort of like disjointed in some way. And I can't, yeah, even with that rooted card we were seeing with the Four Cups, it was like a tree with the roots. I feel like maybe you felt ungrounded with all this Neptune energy. Like you're in outer space. It's like, how do I get grounded? Yeah, how do you get grounded? King of Wands. So a lack of confidence, a lack of vision, so a lack of planning. It's like, I don't know how to ground it, make it happen. Because it has to, I don't know, come from some sort of vision, some sort of plan, some sort of confidence that I don't have or can't muster up here. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius could also be in the ego. So a need for control or some form of arrogance that might come through. To only take what resonates, of course. Yeah, and then the devil. Like I said, break through the devil. Break free from the devil. So breaking egos, breaking beliefs and self-confidence, lack of self-confidence, or too much pride, too much ego. I'll do it myself. I don't have feels. Okay, Capricorn energy. But it's like breaking free from this. The devil can also talk about addictions, unhealthy patterns, habits, ways of engagement with ourselves. And so with the Empress in reverse, it's like, I don't feel loved. I don't feel connected to. I can't connect with others when I'm in this energy. And it creates all sort of like unhealthy ways of coping. Okay. I'm seeing smoking coming through as well. So I can have some form of smoking addiction, distraction. So we have the Knight of Cups in reverse again. Yeah, suppression of emotions. There's the fear that I said I didn't see, but I felt it. The Moon. And this is this labyrinth because it's like, I don't see how to get there. And so it's all confusing and scary and overwhelming. And I don't know, you could just be gobbled up at any moment, you know? Cancer energy, Capricorn energy. Oops, and I dropped Sun. We dropped 2, Ace of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune here. Okay, beautiful angel. Took us a while to get there because I feel the heavy avoidance. You bury it, bury it, bury it, bury it, bury it, hoping nobody sees it. If I don't see it, if I don't acknowledge it, it doesn't exist. And then we do circles here, with all these wishes, dreaming, fantasizing, living in some outer space land, and nothing gets grounded. What's happening here? There's a grounding of something you really, really, really want that makes you really happy. You said it in your cards. What makes you happy? Okay. Fear's been holding you back, and a lack of clarity, a lack of grounding, a lack of certainty, avoidance, not wanting to feel pain, or we've experienced pain, something. I feel like the great truth wins. What is the truth coming forward? The truth is saying everything that is an illusion, everything that's been sort of keeping me back is now being seen through. I can now act on the truth. I can take action, speak, walk, talk my truth. I'm no longer fighting the universe. I'm now working with the universe towards movement and momentum. Where I might have felt very stuck, navigating confusion, I'm now clear, I'm now certain, and I'm now moving in that direction. Okay, there's no more waffling. There might still be fear, but fear is what? Is confronting what we need to and taking action anyway. And I feel like what we're actually doing is confronting the devil and dealing through the illusion of the devil. Because remember I said, I don't feel like we're quite, I don't know, like the thing that you're wanting is like, it requires you walking away from something. And it's like breaking the chain of the devil, seeing through the illusion, being honest with self, acknowledging where there's fear, maybe looking through our own ego or our own lack of confidence, our own shadow, our own pains and our own reflection, like getting grounded. This is what I feel you're working through. Okay, because I think you can no longer be in this sort of suppressed of emotions for much longer. It's like, no, I want to take action on this. I want to speak my truth on this. And I want things to get better here. And the only way to do that is for you to take action. Okay. And so I feel this is exactly what you do. And move towards your thing, whatever that is. Yeah, 10 Pentacles, you guys, beautiful. So this is building a future that can stand the test of time in the 3D world, you know, and this is commitment. So you're going to commit to something, building something beautiful. Okay, this is families. This is our empire. This is feeling very secure and safe in the 3D world. And so the biggest fear was like experiencing loss, you know, and I feel like you're going to experience the opposite here, that you're seeing through your own fears were greater and it was preventing you from experiencing this beautiful fulfillment. Okay, so beautiful angel, this is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. All right, bye.